Yes, back
Yes,
at
happy
you.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
So excited to have you here.
Well, Ellie, I appreciate y'all having me. I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to speaking to you guys.
I'm a big fan. I'm trying not to fangirl, so I told Jenny I would behave myself. Listen,
I will take it. I will.
I've been hearing about you for a long time. Yeah.
yeah, this is more my
Wheelhouse.
wheelhouse. Yeah, I'm late to the party with paranormal though. If I'm
Really?
being honest, I have 3 daughters.
Okay.
I'm a new grandma,
Congratulations.
and thank you. And so I would say it was just a couple years ago I started paying attention to some of the shows on like Travel Channel. And I'm not into everything,
Yeah.
just a few. And yours was one of the ones that, I'm not into it for the shock and awe.
Mm,
For me, it's very comforting because of trauma and loss in my life. And I was always into like mediums and stuff,
got you.
but the paranormal investigating kind of piqued my radar. And I'm like, this is really like chill and comforting.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
just love the way you guys approach it, the Ghost Brothers approach it.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we've only been doing it a few years. It was this 2023. I think we started in maybe 2016. And
Hmm.
yeah, we didn't have any background in paranormal anything. Like none of us did. And yeah, we kind of just fell into it. But it's been dope because like the world has been able to see us grow in front of them. Like when we first started
Right.
doing the show, like I told the network and the producers, like, don't try to frame us as these expert paranormal investigators. We
Right.
don't know what we're doing and we don't want to look dumb on YouTube. So just tell the truth.
Yeah.
And so people was always wondering first season, like, why were we running out of buildings screaming and
Jenny, you've got for that first season. It's really great.
yeah, they're like, if you're professional ghost hunters, why are you getting scared and afraid? And I'm like, dude, do you not realize this episode that you're watching is literally only the second time I've done this in life? Like,
It's scary.
yeah, I'm horrified.
That was a huge attraction, I think.
I'd be running out of the
Really?
building scared, screaming too.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people related to us and related to our yeah, just the way that we handled situations. Because we handled it the way the average person would.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That was one of the things I was going to point out. So I'm glad you brought it up because I'm like, well, I don't want to like offend him or anything. But
No.
the progression that I think even you more so than all three of you, but all three of you to watch from the beginning to where you're at now, even what you're doing on YouTube, you have so much more confidence. Like, it's a totally different look. So yes, they did a good job of showing you guys for exactly who you were and new to this. And it was scary as hell. And
Yeah.
you were learning,
Yeah.
which I love.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And like I said, the growth, I feel like the growth is definitely there. Like I said, 6 years now. And then, yeah, we're starting to embrace it more. Because even over the past few years, in our spare time, like we have our own individual lives. So, like, if we weren't doing it for television, we really weren't doing it in our free time. Like, there's
Okay.
people
Mhm.
that, like, every weekend they're out investigating, which is
Yeah.
dope and cool. And they push the culture forward. But us, like I said, this was never our thing. We just fell
Right.
into it and it became our thing. And so it wasn't until recently that we really started to like lean into the paranormal more. Like, as you can see, I'm doing my own stuff on YouTube. It's just like
Mhm.
we're here now. So we might as well like do a cannonball off the deep end now and just see what else we
Right.
can do inside the community. So it's dope.
Sorry, I'm having a little frequency issue here. Hopefully, I'm the only one that heard that. Jenny, you have any questions?
Go ahead.
Or not? Not yet.
I'll let you go. Yeah,
Well, can you guys hear that buzzing, or is it just me?
just you.
I don't hear
Oh,
anybody.
great. So it's probably something of mine. Okay. So what I really would like to know what you were doing prior. I've looked, into like some of your credits, and you are a writer, producer, and TV. What are your other accolades?
Yeah, so I went to school. That's where I met Jawan in college, just to get my business background. And the plan was to be an entrepreneur. And so, yeah, I graduated college. I got my master's degree at Clark Atlanta University. And
Okay.
me and one, we started a clothing line together. So we make tailored men's suits. So we make
Nice.
suits for TV and film productions, weddings, personal clientele. And that's kind of how we got involved in television because we were making clothes and wardrobe for TV shows in Atlanta. And then we started doing
Wow.
wardrobe for those shows, working on shows, doing wardrobe. So we were watching how they were making television shows every single day. And that's where we came up with the idea for Ghost Brothers. It was literally one night we were roommates at the time. I woke up in the middle of the night and one of the shows was on television. I wasn't watching them back then, so I couldn't even tell you which one it was. I just remember thinking to myself, I've just never seen any black people hunting ghosts like ever,
No.
Yeah.
like ever. And I was like, I wonder why that was. And so I got on the internet and I started looking for black ghost hunters, and I couldn't find a single person. Not a single person. I went to
No.
Facebook groups. I went to paranormal organizations all over the country, emailed them asking, did anybody have a line on any black ghost hunters? And everybody was like, nope, nope, nope,
Yeah.
nope, nope. And we just shot it ourselves. We went down to where did we go? Savannah, Georgia. We went to Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, my favorite.
Yeah.
We shot a little video and put it on YouTube. It probably was like maybe a minute and a half, 2 minute long video. And yeah, that's what started our whole journey. 6 years later, I was in LA driving for Uber,
Wow.
Uber driver, and I got a random email, and they said a television network was looking for black ghost hunters, and the only black ghost hunters they could find was the clip that we had put on YouTube 6 years earlier. And
Oh
then,
my gosh.
Wow.
yeah. So it's all God. It's all God that kind of brought everything full circle.
Definitely. Yeah.
Which that's something you guys bring into this with you, like your spirituality, like growing up in church,
Yeah.
and that's when I talk about paranormal, because I know it can have a shifty response sometimes for some people because of their religious beliefs, even mediumship and things like that. But I've always come at it in my mind anyway, from a spiritual place. If you believe, I personally, and Jenny and I have talked about this, if you believe in a higher power, if you believe in, heaven, hell, whatever you want to call it, essentially you're believing there's something else there that you can't necessarily see. So you're having like this faith in it, So I love that you have that with you.
I have to. Like you said, my mother is a pastor. She's been the head pastor of our church since I was like in the third grade. So yeah, I feel like you have to have some type of belief system to protect yourself, because what we are doing can be perceived as dark to some, and you don't know what you're knocking on. Like you're knocking on the door,
Mhm.
you don't know who's going to answer it. So you got to stay prayed up. People ask, how do we protect ourselves? Me, it's 100% my faith. And I feel like my faith in God protecting me outweighs my belief of attachments and all of that other stuff. So I just feel like God got me. At least in my mind, in my
Right.
heart and mind, I have to believe that, or I
Yeah.
can't keep doing this.
No. I saw your episode on Lee Harvey Oswald on YouTube,
Yes,
which fascinated me because I am into the conspiracy theories.
got you. Yeah,
And it gave me chills when you were at the gravesite and you asked him where he was, and he said he was in hell.
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I started doing the graveyard shift. It's crazy. It's only been like 8 weeks. Like that's what's crazy. It seemed a lot longer. But I wanted to do something in between the shows, because it's always a huge gap in between new seasons of shows on television, and we're always waiting. So I wanted to do something in my spare time that allows me to hone my skills and give all the supporters something to watch. And I was just trying to figure out something that was inexpensive for me to do and something that I could keep up consistently. Because like trying to go to haunted places and asylums and prisons and houses, you gotta go through a chain of command. People want rent stuff and pay people. It becomes too much. But I was like, cemeteries,
I was wondering about that.
they're everywhere and they're free
Yeah.
to get into. They're like national parks. So it's just like there's no issue there. And then everyone has a story, like you were saying, Jenny. So I'm from Dallas, and I grew up on, just the JFK, Jack Ruby, Lee Harvey Oswald story. I've heard it a million times. They play it every year on the anniversary. You see the videos. I've been to the museum. I've walked the route. I've like all of that. You do that just living in Dallas.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, I didn't know where everyone was buried until I started doing the graveyard shift. And I started looking around, and I was like, damn, it would be kind of cool to maybe go talk to, just see if I can get in contact with Lee Harvey Oswald. Like, what's the chances? And then I was like, maybe it would be cool to go to the museum where he potentially took the shot. But then you're not supposed to film in there.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Yeah. And they stopped me when I walked in. They was like, why do you have a tripod? I was like, I just carry it with me from time to time. And they were like, well, you can't film in here. I was like, okay. But I got there right when they opened. And in my mind, I was like, nobody's going to be at this museum on a random Sunday at like 8:00 in the morning. It was like 70 people there. And the way the exhibit is set up is you go into the museum and they automatically take you on an elevator to the 6th floor. So you go to the 6th floor where Lee Harvey took the shot. But where he took the shot is in the back of the 6th floor. So this is a museum. So they bring like 40 people up at a time, and you're supposed to stay in line and walk through the exhibit, and it takes you to the back window where they took the shot.
Right.
I'm trying to do a spirit box session.
You got away from them.
I got off that elevator and beeline to the back, and the people working there was like, sir, where are you going? You're in the group. No. Gone. So that's why it was only like 4 minutes.
Yeah. And you were crouched down and you said yes.
But the answers and the responses, they were so spot on.
Yeah, they were.
That's what was interesting to me, because I had no idea. I had no expectations, no idea, but just the fact that it was so spot on, it just makes me, I don't know. Like, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what that was. Like, was I really?
There's no explanation. It's like, what else could it be?
Yeah.
None. It was crazy. I enjoyed it though.
I found, and what I also found intriguing was that the people around his grave were upset that
he was there,
that so many people go to see them, and they can't rest.
Yeah. And I find
like it was getting on their nerves or something. Like,
it's wild. I find that at a lot of cemeteries that famous people and celebrities are buried at, or infamous people, more so infamous people.
Okay.
It's more so infamous people. I just did an episode with Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, who was the gangster from who was responsible for building up the New York Strip. So he was a gangster, mobster.
Yeah.
And where he's buried in LA, he's in a mausoleum surrounded by, 400 other people. And it was the same response. I was like, are you guys upset that he's here? And they was like, yes. Like, like people, I don't know, it's just crazy. It's wild.
That is wild.
Marilyn Monroe, she said, I asked her.
It is.
On her grave, there's a lot of lipstick. People come to her grave and kiss her mausoleum. So there's lipstick prints all on her grave. So I said, how do you feel about it? He was like, I don't like it. And I was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know who I'm communicating with.
Have you ever thought about, now just because it's been in the news, going to Graceland, if they would let you?
Yeah. So that's the plan this year. The plan this year is to just kick it up a notch, to do more. I find that the supporters, the graveyard shifters, they love these celebrity stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it's cool to go to just a random graveyard and just let everybody talk. But people also like more pointed and directed episodes too. So famous people, infamous people, big stories. So I have a list of celebrities that I want to go try to get in contact with.
You need to go to Kurt Cobain's grave and see what happened there.
Where's he buried at?
Is it Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think so. I think it's Seattle.
That's a lot of people have that conspiracy that he didn't do that he didn't kill himself.
yeah. See, all those type stories. I want to
Yeah.
explore all of that.
Yeah. That'd be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a ton. I was telling Jenny that you guys, that the Ghost Brothers had visited near us at the Tampa Theater, that you had an episode with the Tampa Theater.
Yeah, we've been out there.
I've been there.
Yeah, yeah. Tampa Theater is interesting. That it's not considered a basement, but it's the back area, changing room, dressing room. We've had some of our craziest experiences there. Tampa Theater is it's a beautiful theater, but it's very unsuspecting. Like you wouldn't think that it would be spirits in there, but it's definitely something in there for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those older.
You should definitely explore some of our graveyards in Florida. We've got a lot of stuff happening in Florida.
Oh yeah.
Listen, like I said, we've only been doing it 8 weeks. Like now that I see that there's a real interest in the graveyard shift, I'm definitely revving it up a notch. So I have a couple of ideas. I found a cemetery that was open, meaning that it's not a it's not a sectioned off cemetery. This is more so a plot of land in some wooded area that just has graves in it.
Oh wow.
And I was like, I wonder what it would be like to spend an entire night in the cemetery like that. So maybe getting like a tent or something and just plopping it up in these wooded area surrounded by all these graves and just do like a full night. Like what happens at 3 a.m.?
Ooh, I just got the chills.
You know
Yeah.
I mean?
The witching hour, right? Like don't they say that's like the
What if? I don't know. So I in my mind, I just see me inside of my tent with my spirit box and just not knowing what's going on outside and just hearing like, yes, I think I'm gonna try it. I think I'm gonna do it.
Oh, brave. Very brave.
Very brave.
Yeah.
Now, what's your goal with the YouTube, with the graveyard shift? And I noticed that you did something with your wife as well, like a kind of a clip show.
Yeah, we call it Ghosted or Roasted. We're actually about to film that today in a minute. That just started off with like I said, I just wanted to provide content for all the supporters in our downtime. And YouTube is a cool way for you to kind of build out your own television network, essentially. And so the Dalen Spratt channel is essentially just all things paranormal. So I'm just in my mind, in the near future, I would have 4 days of 5 days a week, different shows airing on my YouTube channel.
Right.
So Monday would be Ghosted and Roasted with my wife. Fridays, the graveyard shift. Maybe Tuesdays, I'm going to investigate hotels. I don't know, just whatever. I want to have you be able to come to my channel every day and watch some new video surrounding the paranormal. So that's my goal for the channel. And then the graveyard shift, just to build it up. I want to build up an army of graveyard shifters just across the world. And travel the world and just explore.
Well, when you get closer to us, just let us know. Maybe I'll try it.
Sure.
I'm a little braver than Jenny, I think, but
yeah, I would love to bring out supporters in locations that we go to and cities that we go to. Like maybe one, person pick one graveyard shifter gets picked out and they can come out and meet me at a cemetery and we do it. I want to bring out people who aren't necessarily believers and get their experience with me. Like I just want to do so much. And now that I'm doing it on YouTube, I have the freedom to do it. Like nobody can tell me what I can and can't do.
That's true.
That's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
That's
true.
You're
your own boss producer.
I appreciate it because when the shows are on hiatus, again, I'm only into a few really that I am loyally following.
Yeah.
And I miss it when you guys aren't around. I don't know what it is. It is something that helps with my stress and anxiety. And I don't know. I just love it. So I love that you're on YouTube. It's definitely filling in the blank spots.
I appreciate it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Yeah, I just want everybody to just keep on tuning in. It's going to keep growing. It's going to get bigger. And I'm dedicated to it now. Like, it's not going to stop. So y'all ain't got to worry about like, dang, I don't want to get, too wrapped up into it and then he just stops. I figured this is something that I can keep up even when we do start back filming Ghost Brothers. So like when we're on the road for 3 months at a time filming, literally there's cemeteries everywhere. So no matter where I go,
everywhere.
I can shoot an episode that week for the graveyard shift. So I'm gonna keep this up literally every week for sure.
Do you travel when you travel? Do you take your whole family with you, or are you away from your wife when you go to your cemetery hunting?
When I do the show, I'm away from my wife. She doesn't really fool with the paranormal. And then we have a baby. We have a 1-year-old, so she's in school. And so yes, my wife. But my wife travels a lot too. So she owns a bar in Harlem, New York, and she manages a young lady out here. So she travels a lot too. So it's interesting.
Are you based in Atlanta or LA?
We're based in Atlanta.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Okay.
Traveling is huge. So but we have to like do it in shifts. So like when I get off the road, she goes to do what she needs to do. So but it works. It works that we're both entrepreneurs and we both work we both have traveling careers. So it works.
Right.
Yeah.
That's great though that you have each other to kind of support those ambitions, you know.
100%.
I do want to know because with every Ghost Brother, you know, in your opening, you guys say that you had paranormal experiences when you were young. So I'd like to know what that was for you that kind of piqued your interest when you were young anyway.
Yeah. So when I was about 7, I was visiting my grandmother in this small West Texas town called McCamey, Texas. This is one of those towns where literally everybody knows everybody. And again, so I was like 7. So I only went out there on spring breaks and summers. So it had to be one of the two. And I had an older cousin that lived out there. She was in her early 20s. She had a best friend. Her best friend was dating a guy. They got into a domestic dispute. The boyfriend gets a gun. He shoots the best friend and shoots himself. So she died. She lives. He dies. So mind you, everybody knows everybody. This is my cousin's best friend. So she survives. Her boyfriend dies.
Wow.
So my grandmother and her best friend, this other elderly lady, decide to go and see the body at the wake at the funeral. So they bring me at 7. I never forget. I walk into this funeral home. There's this casket at the front of the church. And then there's this young man laying in there with like this light gray suit, white shirt, skinny black tie. And I remember him just looking like, even at 7, I knew that he shot himself in the head. And I had watched enough movies and TV to where in my mind, if you shoot yourself in the head, it should look like you got shot in the head.
Right. Yes.
I didn't know that a funeral home could come in and like put your stuff back together. To be honest. So I remember asking my grandmama, I was like, I thought y'all said he got shot. And she was like, baby, he did. And I was like, well, then why he just look like he sleep? And she was just like, this funeral home did a really good job. But her friend asked me, well, Dalen, have you ever touched a dead body before?
Oh.
7. I was like,
oh, no.
This lady grabs my hand, puts it on the chest of that young man laying in the casket.
Oh my God.
And I remember just being terrified. I remember looking up at my grandmother, and mind you, I'm thinking like, first of all, you're too old to be hanging around bad influences. Like, why are you hanging with this menace that does this to your grandchild? I ran out of that funeral home screaming. And that night, I'll never forget, I was asleep on the couch, and like, oddly, it was like 3 a.m. Now that I know witching hour, I wake up, I look in the kitchen, and standing in the doorway was that same young man wearing the same light gray jacket, white shirt, thin black tie. And he was just linked up against the wall, just staring at me. And I remember screaming.
Wow.
Grandmother ran into the living room. She grabbed me and she was just like, what? And I could just point. And she looked and nothing was there. And I just always kept that, like, just remembered that. And now as an adult and doing what I do, like, I know what an attachment is. And I know that, you know, me touching that body, being afraid, that energy, no telling what could have attached to me, what could have followed me. And it's just, yeah. So I've always had that in the back of my mind growing up. And yeah. That was my first paranormal.
Do you feel intuitive at all? Like, have you ever felt intuitive, you know, as far as like, you know, medium type energy?
People keep saying that.
Or anyone in your family even.
People keep saying that they watch me and they say that I do. I don't think I've leaned into it. I don't know if I want to lean into it. I don't want to lean into it.
Yeah.
I do know, and I don't want to.
It's like Pandora's box.
Yeah,
I can relate to that. Yeah.
Me too.
Because even doing the graveyard shift, like I don't want them to think it's okay to like follow me and like I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night and there's 10 spirits just looking at me like, oh, you talk to us, we got something to say. Like,
I gotta tell you something.
Yeah. I don't want that.
And we learned last week that happens quite a bit.
Yeah.
We had Lauren Moss on. She is a channel medium and an investigator, and she said her and her friend, they're on this team. They were trying to cross someone over that was being held here. It was her father was holding her here, the spirits, and he got so mad he followed her home, and she had to exorcise the house to get rid of him.
Yeah.
It was scary. Yeah.
I believe it. And I don't need them problems.
That's what I would say.
Problem.
Yeah.
I would like to. Sorry, I'm still a little off on my end. So if I'm like talking over you guys, I'm so sorry.
No, you're not.
I think something's up with my internet. I don't know. Okay. I would like to know, because Lauren said something that's kind of stuck with me about the paranormal community as far as the willingness or not so willing to share information with different teams you've worked. I mean, I know you have, you know, the Ghost Brothers, but you have your show also, Fright Club, with Jack Osbourne. He has a show with Katrina Weedman, Portals to Hell. Like, what is your feeling in the paranormal community as far as like sharing with each other, sharing experiences, information, helping each other? What's the vibe?
I think all of those issues pretty much live within the, how can I phrase this respectfully? So respectfully, I feel like those issues live within the community of people that don't have a television show.
Okay.
Because I feel like a lot of people want that, and they feel like having an exclusive or having whatever their thing is can make them be seen as, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People that have a TV show, we understand that like it ain't all it's cracked up to be. You know what I mean? Like it's, and I know it's easier said that than done. You know what I mean? Because Taylor, you can say that because you have a TV show,
right?
Maybe, but I'm telling you, like whatever you think it is in your head, it's not. Like it's not. Everything's compromised. Like if you really enjoy the art of paranormal investigating and the research and knowledge and like the act of, then TV's not for you. It's not. There's no way to really have an authentic investigation with a cameraman, a sound guy, a producer, a director, you know what I'm saying, the homeowner, people outside honking horns,
right? What's up?
You see the edited 40 minutes on television, you know what I mean? Yeah, people just need to just realize like it's so much you can do on your own and in your spare time. And then the sharing of information just makes things bigger and better. Hence why I'm doing the stuff on YouTube. I don't have all those issues that I'm having that we would have on television. Now, don't get it wrong. I love doing what I do on television.
Yeah.
But you just have to understand it's a
clearly,
difference. It's 100% different. And you just got to be careful what you wish for. Like people be really wanting the opportunity to be on TV, but they don't realize and then what comes with it, you're being judged consistently. People calling you liar, faker. Like that's the horrible stuff. People judging you for stuff that don't even matter. I've seen people, I can say that because she's my friend, but I've seen people question Amy about her weight. She's like, what? Like, what's that have to do with anything?
Oh my God.
I just ate a burger.
Oh my God. Yeah.
But you have to deal with people came at us. People came at us for being black. Like, look, we can't change that. Like, that ain't going to. You have to deal with all the shit that's outside of paranormal that doesn't even matter when you're on television.
Yeah.
And people don't even, you just got to be ready for that type of stuff.
Yeah. Ellie, do you want to ask him about
I like
Jack?
That perspective.
Ellie, do you want to ask him about Jack Osborne? I know you're dying to.
Listen, I made a vow that I would not make this about the Osbournes, okay? And I'm sticking to it because, Dalen, I am a fan of yours, and I mean that.
Yeah.
However, how was it to work with Jack Osborne? I love all the Osbournes. I've been a big fan for all my life.
No, Jack is cool.
He really brought me to the paranormal, if I'm being honest.
Really?
I trusted him. And so it was one of those things where he was doing his stuff with his family, with his parents and like his sister and stuff. And I fell into that. And I thought, for some reason, I don't know why, I just really trusted him and I trusted his motivations and, and I just thought, you know what, if he's involved in this, I'm going to pay attention. And that led me to you guys, to Amy and Adam and a couple of the other ones that, and his other shows. But so, I would like to know how it is to work with Jack Osborne, but you're fabulous.
Like you. I grew up watching them too. Like all the time. I grew up watching their show when they was kids, all of that. So I never really had an opinion on Jack. I never in a million years thought I'd be working with him. And then when we got the opportunity, I think we met. Yeah. We met somewhere, I think maybe in Las Vegas or somewhere at an event. Travel Channel brought in all the talent from the shows, and which they do often. And like we hang out with like shows hang out together. Like, I don't know if people know that, but like Kindred Spirits hangs out with like Ghost Brothers, who hangs out with Ghost Hunters. Like we hang out together a lot.
That's cool.
It's funny where we've been out at times together where it's like 4 or 5 different shows, and somebody who's like a big paranormal fan would just be randomly at a restaurant and will walk by the table and be like, what? It's 5 paranormal shows sitting together. Like, what? No, Jack is
wait a minute.
Yeah. But we met Jack and we literally hit it off. And you realize that Jack is not as cocky or as arrogant as he could rightfully be. No one should be.
Absolutely.
Some people you could be like, I mean, bro, you've been doing this shit your whole life. Your family got $1 billion. Like you got like your mom, so your daddy's a rock star.
Yeah.
You could cuss somebody out right now. I would get it. But no, Jack is like the most cool, down to earth, like person you would ever meet. My first conversation with Jack, he talked to me about child support. And I was like, oh, you a real person. You a real person, Jack.
He's been through it. He knows what's up. Well, your chemistry with him, you guys, is great on Fright Club. I just love it. I love it. And I think that's so cool that you guys all like kind of have some relationships with each other. That's really neat.
Yeah, Jack is cool. We say he's definitely our brother from another mother.
Yeah, it shows. It shows in the show for sure.
Yes. Well, ladies, I hate to call it short,
No, but we know you have stuff. You have a show to shoot, and we're over the 30-minute limit for you.
No worries. I appreciate y'all. And we
thank you so much.
I'm gonna get the guys the next time to come on. So
that'd be awesome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And Ellie, maybe
absolutely that'd be so cool.
Oh,
Jack one day, Ellie. I'll work on
you have our information.
Oh, don't be teasing me now. Don't be teasing me.
Right.
Listen, Dalen, you are enough. Don't you worry. Anytime you'd like to come back, we so appreciate it.
We do too.
This was really exciting.
This was really fun.
No
and good luck on everything.
Thank y'all so much.